Hello, welcome to the Cinema Savvy Movie Podcast, the channel for film reviews, discussions, and everything in between. I'm Chris Garner, joined once again with my co-host Tayte in the Hour, and today we're bringing you another top 10 list. It's been quite a while since we did one of these things, but as today, well, when we're recording this now, is the 14th of February. It is the day of love and everything like that. It is Valentine's Day, so we decided to
And because we're both lonely and we have nothing else to do, we're doing this!
Exactly!
Yay!
Priorities are well and truly intact. So we are doing our top 10 list of our favourite romantic films of all time. So as there's two of us, we're going to have a top 5 each, but we're also going to have a couple of honourable mentions before we get to our number one. So we may as well just get straight into it. So,
dive in.
Tate, do you want to kick off with your 5 or shall I go first?
I think you should go first.
Okay, well my number 5 pick is Annie Hall. Directed by Woody Allen. I have recently just got into Woody Allen movies, and it feels like when I was watching this movie, it was, where has this film been all my whole life? For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's sort of a film about Woody Allen's character and Diane Keaton, and they're both trying to come to terms with how their relationship, or rather Woody Allen is trying to come to terms with how their relationship broke down over the years. And it's when they first meet each other and everything's great. They're sort of in the honeymoon period. They're kindred spirits. They have same interests. And then as the film slowly goes on, it's just, I think one of the quotes in the film is that love fades. And that's basically what the whole film is about. Without getting too much into like a therapy session, because I really don't want this to turn into one of these videos, I love romantic films that have, and I was telling you this before we hit record, more of a bittersweet taste to it, because I just think they're a lot more real. There's nothing wrong with romantic films like the whole droves of films that come out each year.
Is it because your heart's bittersweet?
It's because I'm a very complex guy and I'm a hopelessly romantic, wear my heart on my sleeve. But no, there's nothing wrong with those other kind of films, but at this stage in my life now, they just feel unrealistic, and I like a film to have a bit more wit to it, a bit more charm, and a bit more sincerity, and that is why Annie Hall is on the list. I put it at number 5 because whilst it is fantastic, it's one of the best comedy films I've seen recently. The script's absolutely just flawless, and it does have one of the greatest Christopher Walken cameos in history. It's just, I haven't seen this film for quite a while, so I can't talk too much about it because it has been a while since I watched it, but when I watched it, it has definitely left an impact on me. So my number 5 pick is Annie Hall.
A relationship, I think, is like a shark. You know, it has to constantly move forward or it dies. And I think what we got on our hands is a dead shark.
And it also won the Best Picture for that year as well, I believe, 1977, the Academy Award.
You see, my number 5 won Best Writing Original Screenplay at the Oscars in 2004. I am talking about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Fantastic film, good choice.
This is such a complex film. It delves so deep into the psyche of a person who just doesn't want to let go, and it really does captivate you from the first moment. I would say, gimmick of the film about the mind erasing, because she wants to forget about the relationship and he doesn't want to let go, and him being chased throughout his head by these deleted memories. Oh, it's just brilliant.
Yeah, and it does get quite
Absolutely
scary
amazing.
in some parts as well, like the whole scene with the faceless people, and it's definitely a very complex movie. It's
Kate Winslet, Jim Carrey, brilliant performances.
Fantastic pairing, really great chemistry, and as I said, it's a more... Well, you can't say realistic because it is technically has sci-fi elements to it, but it's the themes behind the film are really quite profound, I think. And when you look into it, I think it's a film that definitely requires multiple viewings to get the most out of it.
The moral behind it is you just sometimes can't let go.
Yeah.
And we're a slave to our emotions.
And Jim Carrey had done Truman Show before this, but this one was, to me, where he was really started to get noticed as also a serious actor as well. Jim Carrey is one of my favourite comedic actors of all time. Grew up on all his comedies, Liar, Liar, The Mask, Dumb and Dumber.
And after this, he dipped back into comedy, didn't he? And I would say never turned back. He did Series of Unfortunate Events, and then The Number 23, and then he just dipped back into Yes Man, I Love You for It, Morris.
Yeah.
Mr. Popper's Penguin, so he kind of went back into the
what I think it tragically
run.
was is that he has always been typecast for comedy. And I
Yeah.
think that a lot of audiences were turned off when they saw Jim Carrey in, and then it's a serious drama like this, or
Yeah.
a thriller like The Number
I feel
23
The
was.
Truman Show is such a great film,
Yeah.
but this is one which was the romantic comedy side of that.
Yeah, and actually, I guess I can say it now, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, I really wanted to get on my list, but I say this every single top 10 list, but this was the hardest list I've ever put together.
Every time we come up with a new one, it's just going to become harder.
Both of us had upwards of probably about 15 films. You have to cram it down to 5.
I had to shorten mine from 20 to 8, because I'm a massive rom-com fan.
Yeah.
Or romantic film in general. I had to cut out some. I'm just going to flip some films out there like Gone Girl and stuff like that, because I thought, whoa, that's too dark.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was one of my honourable mentions. I would have loved to have had it on my main list, but cramming it down, I couldn't fit it in there. But watching it again, it does really get you. And that song in the film as well, Everybody's Gotta Learn Sometime, I think, is the lyric in it. Really, really heart-wrenching performances from both of the people involved. So, yep, good choice on that one.
I'm not a concept, Joel. I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind. I'm not perfect.
I can't see anything that I don't like about you.
But you
Right
will.
now, I can't.
But you will. You know, you will think of things. And I'll get bored with you and feel trapped because that's what happens with me.
Okay.
My number 4 pick is a little film directed by Sofia Coppola. It is Lost in Translation from 2003. Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson. Really, really nice film. It's about a lonely sort of aging movie star played by Bill Murray who befriends this college student called Charlotte, played by Scarlett Johansson, in Tokyo. And it's sort of them just forming this bond. She's recently married and is struggling with that and what direction she needs to go in her life. And Bill Murray's sort of going through a midlife crisis and is depressed. And these two sort of come together and build a connection. And what I like,
what does he say at the end?
I know, yes, it's one of the best kept secrets ever. I think there's a video on YouTube which sort of slows it down, tries to make the audio a bit more clearer. But you know what? I don't want to know. And that's the beauty of this film. And what I like about this film as well is that it could have easily, in lesser hands, have just gone down a sort of, you know, sexual route and just have these two have a fling. And the film's really not about that. It's just these two people coming together, forming this connection. And it's just a really, really nice film. It won, I think it won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. And I think it was original screenplay, or was it adapted? And Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson both got a BAFTA for it. Yeah, best original screenplay. It's just a really, really nice drama piece. It does have comedy elements to it as well, but it is quite heart-wrenching because I do think the chemistry between the two are fantastic. And it also gives you new love for the song More Than This by Roxy Music. I love Roxy Music, and that scene in the film where it's the karaoke scene in the film for anyone that's seen it. It's just a really nice piece, and I think that even if you're not a massive fan of it, I think that everyone should see it at some point because it does speak to that sort of human ability to form a connection with a stranger in another part of the world and the sad reality that you'll probably never see them again.
I just don't know what I'm supposed to be. You know? I tried being a writer, but I hate what I write. And I tried taking pictures, but they're so mediocre, you know, and every girl goes through a photography phase. You know, like horses. You know, take dumb pictures of your feet.
You'll figure that out, and I'm not worried about you.
For my number 4 pick, I have yet another Academy Award winning for, again, Best Original Screenplay. 2013's film Her.
Oh, I forgot this movie. We forgot so many movies before. Yeah, great
Joaquin
choice.
Phoenix, Amy Adams, Scarlett Johansson. This is just one of the best modern tellings of a story I have seen. It was brilliantly acted, and it made me feel for every character so much. And it tells a story of a man who is lonely.
Yeah.
And it follows him falling in love with a machine and then trying to kind of keep that relationship going because it's the only thing that's stable in his life. And then everything starts to crumble, and it's just, Brilliant.
another
Good film. Amazing.
Yeah, I love this movie. I think I watched this film for the first time about halfway through last year, and I was just captivated by it from beginning to end. It's a really...
Would it have gone on your list?
It may have got an honorable mention, in all honesty, in hindsight. And it is a romance film, obviously, but it does it in such a new and
Unusual
interesting way where it's with a man and a machine, and it's... I love this with just sort of sci-fi in general with themes like this. Obviously, Ex Machina, we both love that movie where it's how close can a machine get to being a real human? And with this film, you also question, like, in terms of their relationship, is it really any different from a real relationship? And I think that was quite a cool way it goes out. It does get quite disturbing in some points where there's like a regular person shows up and wants to be sort of like a conduit for her character. But no, I thought it was a really sort of nice film, and then by the end, sort of where it rounds off and thematically, I thought it handles it very well.
I think that was Rooney Mara, was it not?
It may have been. I'm not sure on that front, to be honest.
I think it was. I'm looking here and I'm looking down at the people who are in the cast.
Yeah.
I think it was Rooney Mara.
I'm not sure.
I will have to have a look at that.
I had this terrible thought. Like, are these feelings even real? Or are they just programming? And that idea really hurts. And then I get angry at myself for even having pain. Oh, what a sad trick.
You feel real to me, Samantha.
Right, my number 3. Film from 1967. It was nominated for a great many awards, it won for Best Director of Mike Nichols. It is The Graduate.
Oh, yeah, classic.
A film that needs no introduction, really. The ending is classed as one of the most... Sound of Silence, one of the most iconic film endings of all time. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it stars Dustin Hoffman. He's a guy who's just fresh out of college, and he's ready to start living in the big wide world. He's back at his parents' house, and he has the age-old question, which many of us face. Some of us are still living it. And what does he want to do with his life? And... after that, he gets into a fling with a bored housewife, Mrs. Robinson, again, another famous song from that film. And then, sort of as that plays out, he begins to fall in love with her daughter, Elaine. It's a really good example of sort of impulsive teenage flings and everything like that. And then that obviously all boils down to the ending, which I won't spoil in case anyone hasn't seen it, but it is one of the most iconic and remembered endings of film history.
Yes.
And the ending of this film, what's so perfect is, if this film had have ended 10 seconds before it does, it would have been just like your run-of-the-mill, romantic comedy, whatever like that.
It's that last scene.
It's the
which completely...
final few seconds of the movie that take this from a great film into an outstanding film, and The Graduate for that reason is just perfect in this genre.
Those final 10 seconds give it a deeper meaning.
Yeah. And I'm all about the deeper meanings when it comes to romantic movies. So The Graduate, without doubt. And it's one of Dustin Hoffman's best performances, I think. Great actor, especially around this time with Midnight Cowboy as well. That's another great performance of Dustin Hoffman. I just think he's fantastic. And everything just comes together. Fantastic soundtrack. Brilliant ending. I love it. So, number 3 pick, The Graduate.
For God's sake, Mrs. Robinson. Here we are. You got me into your house. You give me a drink. You put on music. Now you start opening up your personal life to me and tell me your husband won't be home for hours.
So?
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. Aren't you?
My number 3 pick is not a screenplay winner. However, it did do reasonably well in the Golden Globes. It was nominated for Best Comedy or Musical, and I believe it was also nominated for Best Screenplay. Notice that. A lot of these are on screenplays.
Yeah, definitely.
This film I watch on the dot Christmas Day every single year, and it is Love Actually.
I've only saw this film once, and that was when it was released on home video, which I believe was 2004, I want to say. The only scenes, in all honesty, I can remember are Rowan Atkinson in the gift wrapping scene.
That is probably the most famous scene from the film. But if you look at the cast, you've got
Huge
Hugh
cast.
Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Keira Knightley, Bill Nighy, and Rowan Atkinson. How can you go wrong with that?
You can't.
And I think it's 6 or 7 intertwining stories, and they play it off so brilliantly with the theme of love, and it just plays out perfectly.
It sort of covers all aspects of it, really, doesn't it? Like,
Not only, it covers all aspects of love. Not only that, but it also intertwines each storyline. Like, I just can't get my head around it. How they were able to write it in, that they were able to get 6 storylines all playing out at the same time, all working together. Brilliant. Amazing film.
Definitely. Number 2 pick for me is a little film. It was the directorial debut of Mark Webb. It is 500 Days of Summer. Are you happy now, Tate, that 500 Days of Summer is in my list?
You can stop talking as well, by the way.
I don't even know what I can say about this movie.
You can't, because it may be appearing later on my list.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll save it. So 500 Days of Summer, to be continued when you list it.
My number 2 film is Brooklyn, and you should totally go watch Brooklyn.
If you haven't seen Brooklyn already, go and see Brooklyn.
I'm not gonna lie, you should go see Brooklyn, and this is my legit pick for my number 2, like, romance film of all time, because, oh my god, this film was perfect for this genre.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
It's one of the best character pieces I think I've ever seen in a long while.
And I really hope this film picks up more.
Yeah, you know what?
Seriously, go see Brooklyn.
You know what the depressing thing is? I don't know if it's depressing or not, but we're doing a good service here. We've probably marketed this movie better than even the movie marketers have. And
the acting in this film, the actual love story, like, you feel for her. You really do. And, everything about this film is just amazing. Absolutely everything about this film.
And I want Saoirse Ronan to just, her career to just blast off after this movie. And I want the TV Netflix spin-off or whatever it's going to be.
Yes,
I want
because
that.
I would love to see
Julie
who
Walters.
is it? Julie Walters.
Yeah.
And the Board House, because that would feature the person from Arrow, wouldn't it?
Just call it that, the Board House.
No, it would probably be called
Board House Empire.
No, Brooklyn.
Yeah,
it might be just called Brooklyn. That would be a Netflix winning show, and then they would make the film be watched more, which is what we want.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, you love Domhnall Gleeson. Go watch this film.
But no, I mean, for a more in-depth review, you can check out our review of Brooklyn. Just go in our list of videos. It was part of our Oscar run-up.
Or you can tune into the Oscar live stream where we'll be ranting about it.
Yeah, where it probably won't win anything, and that depresses me because it really deserves to.
It deserves to win something, anything.
Definitely. So I guess it's honorable mentions for me. So I've already mentioned that there were so many films on our list that we could have put into honorable mentions. We've whittled it down to 3. I've already said one of mine. One of mine was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Love Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet in that movie. Really well done, thought out movie. My other is a little film from the 80s called Say Anything. One of the most iconic moments in romantic films, where
in all films,
in John Cusack holding up the boombox to "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel. You can tell I haven't listened to that song on loop many nights. It's a fantastic film. It's probably slightly more unrealistic compared to all the other ones, because as I said before, I like the ones that are a bit more grounded and delve into the realism. It is sort of the typical lovey-dovey movie, but I do like some of the themes and aspects in that movie, and that song is amazing. And I kind of feel bad that this didn't feature on my main list, but with older films like this, for some reason, I just don't have a connection to them. I don't know why, but this one I had to put on the list somewhere because it is so iconic, and it has some of the most quoted and quotable lines in film history.
Agree, yeah.
It's Casablanca. I had to.
What? No, I thought you were going to go Gone with the Wind then.
I haven't seen Gone with the Wind. I need to.
Oh!
No. Casablanca.
Oh!
We'll always have Paris. This could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Here's looking at you, kid. Just so many. The ending of that movie is just what makes that a classic in terms of these older films for me. And really quite realistic how, Bogart just sends her away on the plane at the end. He realizes that, no, I'm not the one for her. This guy who she's with now is a better man than I can ever be. and he thinks of her, and she gets on that plane and leaves. And at this time, there were no mobile phones or anything like that. Facebook,
that was
internet.
the last time they were ever going to meet.
That's the last time that they would ever see each other. And sort of tying hand in hand with this is a film that I watched the other night, another Woody Allen film. Play It Again, Sam. I know this is technically cheating. This might be counted as a fourth one, but this film, based on a play, I believe, is basically a love letter to Casablanca, and the film pretty much plays out identical to that film, done in a slightly more comedic and contemporary way at that time, but that sort of ties in with Casablanca too. Yeah.
Okay, so my 3 honourable mentions. First of all, we've got 2 films starring Michael Cera. Aye. Okay, let's start off with Juno. I first watched Juno 2 years ago, and I thought, okay, it's an unusual film, it's quirky, but I think it was just really well acted. It was a very deep, complex, I wouldn't really say romance film, but it was a film about the romance genre, well, kind of. It had romantic elements to it.
Yeah, we were looking at a lot of films before we hit record, of films that count as romantic films, and there was like Terminator and Aliens and all sorts of stuff.
Gattaca even counts, so it could be anything. And Juno was one of the ones that appeared up on my list. This one we kind of debated, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
We'd say that the ending was based on romance, and the entire part of the film was about him destroying his 7 evil exes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a romance film. And then this one is out and out one of the best foreign films of all time, and that's Amélie.
I need to see that film so bad. I see it on all lists of best films ever made and everything like that. I need to see that film.
It's so good, man. You need to watch it.
Right, so that does it for our honourable mentions. Now we'll get on to our number 1 picks. I've got a feeling I might know what your number 1 might be, Tate.
I don't know what yours will be. I'm a little bit intrigued.
This one's a classic. It's from the year 1989, and it's directed by Rob Reiner. In my opinion, it's probably one of his best films. Yeah. When Harry Met Sally.
You realize, of course, that we could never be friends.
Why not?
What I'm saying is, and this is not a come on in any way, shape, or form, is that men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
That's not true. I have a number of men friends, and there is no sex involved.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You only think you do.
You're saying I'm having sex with these men without my knowledge?
No, what I'm saying is they all want to have sex with you.
They do not.
Do too.
They do not.
Do too.
How do you know?
Because no man can be friends with a woman that he finds attractive. He always wants to have sex with her.
So you're saying that a man can be friends with a woman he finds unattractive?
No, you pretty much want to nail him too.
This is, in my opinion, the archetypal rom-com that every film after this just tried to follow. This was, to me, the funniest and probably one of the best well-written scripts I've just ever seen.
I've been to Kat's Diner, and they actually have a sign up saying, this is where they sat. I hope you'll have what she's having. And yeah, I've got a photo somewhere of me sat on a table with, because all over Kat's Diner, which is where one of the most famous scenes from that film is from, they've got pictures of famous people, and we were sat on the table next to the cast and crew.
Oh, wow. Yeah. But yeah, just I can talk to death of this film. There's so many iconic scenes in this film. One of them's the obviously I'll have whatever she's having. And Billy Crystal, I just love Billy Crystal to death. He's one of my favourite actors. He'll always be Mike Wazowski to me, but in this film is fantastic, and the chemistry between him and Meg Ryan's character in this is just brilliant. Just hats off to the screenplay, really, written by Nora Ephron. I'm not sure what else they wrote, but this film is great. I love it. I find myself putting this film on every now and then just to watch it. This is just, I don't know, that's it. Just my favourite rom-com. It's perfect. And I think, again, it's a smart film. Some of the monologues that Billy Crystal has in this movie, especially at the start when they're both in the car together driving, and later on in the film what he has to say on love and relationships in general. I don't know if that's sort of how I think as well. So I connect with the Billy Crystal character. Yeah, I love it. Number 1. So, Tate, on to your final choice.
500 Days of Summer.
Yep,
No introductions needed. This is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, romantic comedy films or romantic films of all time. This is heartbreaking all the way through the film.
Yeah.
You've got to feel for Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But not only that, but I have a soft spot for Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the other cast, you've got Chloe Grace Moretz, who is a rising star, and you've got all of these other people coming into the film who just add to the characters. And this story is told in an unusual order. It goes backwards and forwards, and I love it. I really do. And there is a graph online showing where they bounce between each other. And you just think this was so well put together. And like you said with Harry Met Sally, it kind of changed the genre, really stepped it up. This completely changed it. Like, there can't be a film that can copy it or get near it because it's so unique and so very well done, and it's so me.
Yeah.
I mean, even down to the dance sequence, which in some films is inexcusable, but this one, it earned it.
It works.
It really did.
It totally worked.
It worked.
I like being on my own. Relationships are messy and people's feelings get hurt. Who needs it? We're young. We live in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Might as well have fun while we can and save the serious stuff for later.
You're a dude. She's a dude.
Okay, but wait. What happens if you fall in love? What?
Well, you don't believe that, do you?
It's love, it's not Santa Claus.
There's so many clever things that this film does. One of them is what you mentioned, how it's told in a non-linear order, how it flits between the earlier days of their relationship where they're both in the honeymoon phase and everything's going great, the moment where he's first crushing on her, to then later on in the film where everything's going south. And for me, one of my favourite aspects of this movie, and I've never seen this done in the film before, is where it does the split screen with expectation and reality.
Yes.
It's heartbreaking to watch, and it's so true to life, and that's what I love about this movie. This is one of the realest films. That's why I put it at number 2. It's one of the realest films you will see.
Not because I pressured you into putting it
at number 2. No. You just practically helped me at gunpoint to have this on the list. No, I want to say this is probably the most recent/modern rom-com that's ever had that much of an impact on me.
Okay, if we're defining this is probably the best since 2000.
Yeah, without a doubt, I'll agree with that as well.
And it's probably the best performances of all of their careers.
Yeah, and it's a film that, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it ends on a bittersweet yet hopeful ending. Yeah. But it's just tragic to watch, and it's so true. It's like the fine line between what makes just friendship and a relationship.
Yeah.
And oh boy, is that true to life. But yeah, 500 Days of Summer, fantastic. And then obviously the director went on to do The Amazing Spider-Man, which also I thought had a good sort of relationship thing to it with Andrew Garfield and, Emma Stone. I know that helped because they were both in a relationship at the time, but he knows how to do that genre.
But he's doing Limitless, the TV series, now as a producer.
Yeah.
And that's doing okay.
He probably wanted a break from movies for a while and just thought he'd deal with TV. But yeah, all these films on this list, both of our lists, check them out. Especially, well, it's probably getting on quite later in today and people have plans. Yeah. But try and check out all these films if you can. There are plenty more that we couldn't list. You should have saw our original list. We probably had like about 20 apiece. We had to horrifically just like cut them down. But right now, in my mind, my top 10 list just fleetingly change all the time, but for me, as of right now, my mindset right now, this is my definitive set in stone list. So that'll do it for our top 10 romantic films of all time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to comment below and let us know some of your favourite romantic films. Maybe they're all on this list, maybe there's some more, so just throw them out there. Be sure to hit subscribe as well. We're bringing you loads more reviews now. We're getting into the big hitters of 2016 coming out, and we've also got the Oscar movies that we're catching up with before our Oscars live stream on the night of the Oscars, which will be the 28th of February, sort of going into the 29th as well if you're in the UK. We want as many people on the live stream as possible if you can, so we can have fun, we can have discussions, chat about movies, play games, all that stuff. So spread the word on that, and you can check our Facebook and Twitter links as well for more information about that close to the time. And yeah, that'll do it for our video. So until the next one, thanks for listening.